Maybe a little bold titanium white. And we're going to just very classically get some definition into these rocks. Okay. And what we're going to do is just start back here. It's just real light. Kind of just go against the grain. I'm just kind of making moisture adjustments. Real light. I'm not banging it up. Just taking any more excess moisture off the brush. And we're just kind of going up against the lip, moving into the center of the base. Kind of keeping it all one direction for now. Deliberately not pushing hard. I'm not being just crazy here. And it's just going to start catching hard edge angles and deploying a nice crisp highlight. And that's going to make our really sloppy wet blending look a lot better that we did earlier. And then we'll be able to pull other details out. And I am trying to stay careful. Just move kind of one direction for the most part. Some exceptions. Like here, I don't care. I'm just kind of hitting it all directions right there. Here we go. Back to where we started. Gonna be a little bit more ambitious on the second pass. As the brush loses moisture and more pigment, I can be a little bit more aggressive. And putting this overlay of ivory really keeps it natural looking. There we go. And you can start to really see the details pop out. I'm going to switch brushes to the smaller brush. Mind you, my hobbies. Dub Shep, what up, brother? It's a little wet because I was washing it. So I'm going to take some straight white. Mix it with the ivory. So it should be brighter. Dub Shep coming in like the legend that he is. So now I should be able to target lock some of these areas a little bit easier now with the smaller brush. And just kind of work little shelves that I want to be specifically brighter. I don't need to redo everything. Spend a few minutes doing this, getting some more white out. There we go. Just add a little bit more dimension. Now you can start to see like what's a rock, what's not a rock. Tight. I'm going to switch it back to the big one. Got the big army painted one right here. Just going to make sure to really loosen up here. Take that excess off. Thrawn Legacy, what's up, man? Thanks for the follow, brother. And kind of hit more surface area as I bring some of that pure white in. Just kind of going by eye here, you know, like just no, there's no like set procedure. I'm just kind of making it look better to my eyes. All right, I'm with it. Now, dry brushing can go both ways, okay? You can sort of use it to go darker, too. So, for example, I can grab some just like mahogany, right? And I can take some of this and kind of simulate some dirt in the mix. So that's going to give us the illusion that some dirt's kind of sitting on top. Kind of like weathering powder. So it's kind of like you're using something darker to go back on top of it. So it's not going to generate a highlight. But narratively, our brain will be like, yeah, I'll take that as dirt. Tam Wolf, what up, brother? So there's like a big cylinder, like some airplane fuselage or missile. I don't know what the fuck this is. Go right up against the sides of that. Put some dirt in right there. I'll even take some of this and paint some on the metal. There's another one right here. As I move around. See that? Because that metal's going to get all beat up here in a second. Just kind of going with my heart. Some skulls in there. Right there. Right there. Put some brown on those. Put some brown right here. All right, let me pack these brushes up for a second. Toxic Brown Eye. Thanks for the follow, man. Let's pull out the wet palette. parchment. Let's get some of this ivory. Some of this white. Let's just run through and start detailing some things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to maybe even take some brown. Some brown. Some ivory. And I'm going to kind of just slop it on these skulls real quick. Using some stippling strokes. Semi-opaque, a little wet. Just using my number 4 right now, just laying it down. Right there. Just a little brown and ivory mixed together. Remember, guys, if you have any questions for me, any comments, and you're new here, you want to highlight it in stream so I can see it. Because I just kind of glance up and look for the red highlight. Little bushel of skulls right there. Tamil, if it looks pink, these skulls, yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of red in mahogany. So when you start whitening it up, there'll be a pinkness to it. Definitely. Almost like a skin tone. Right there. Skull kind of chilling right there. Let's go through and just get all the elements, right? So we got some base coats and some skulls. Let's rinse the brush. This flux is highlighting these nuts. That's right, man. Now we'll run back to ivory. Only a little bit of residual brown on the brush. And so what we're doing is just kind of repainting the skulls. And any of this light brown that you don't quite hit, that just kind of stays in a crease or in a shadow, just let it ride. So now you're kind of hitting it with that more traditional skeleton color. I'm deliberately trying to leave some brown behind in the shadow. Some stipples. So not a paint scientist. How was LVO? Did you compete? Yes, I did. Played 6 games of 40K over 2 days. Lost to Crushers, Speedwall, And that Gene Stealer Cult, that new heat. Definitely was not prepared. Did not derail my fun in any capacity. There we go. Oh, there's a skull I missed right here. Look. Went back a step. Rinse the brush. Joshy. What I love about 40K, if I can't win, I'm taking you down with me. Yes. Remember, guys, if you're new here, you're going to want to @ me in chat, or there's a huge chance I'm not going to see your messages. Let's switch to a smaller brush for a second. Let's move in, grab a little bit more of this brighter mix up here. A little white mixed in. I'm just going to kind of crudely kind of carve in just kind of like a center mass broad highlight, a little cell shading. Big kind of a big circle, some dots, some sewing machines, some random lines right there. Leaving some of each step behind. Very low on blending. Some stipples right there. Right there. Feeling good about it. There we go. Forge Master, how do you keep your reds red? My reds always look clayish. Well, I have a formula we call Ultra Red here on the show. If you're on my Patreon page, you use that as a search tag, you'll see dozens of videos where I talk about it. It's about having the right red for the right job, for sure. Building up to it. Having the right paints definitely helps. Exclamation point monument. But we use basically white to go brighter. And then we use red again to kind of filter it back down and resaturate it to get it bright and saturated. Move it right here. So we've got our little skulls looking pretty good now. Let's rinse the brush. Ink 20, Ink 202. What's up, man? Sunshine Grenadier in chat. What a player. Cletus, did Wyatt win Best in Faction for Chaos Space Marines? No, he did not. He lost in the end. Third. That's right. Now, got these little skulls kind of blocked in. There's some cabling here, which I think we have a good opportunity. Let me just take real quick. This is easy. I mean, I'll use the same, check this out. I'll use the same brown and white combination and ivory. What I'm going to do is just paint. And this is kind of funny because we were just talking about ultra red. This is kind of like cheaty ass ultra yellow I'm about to do here. So the reason I'm doing this is because I'm just trying to make it brighter. And there's almost anything will do. And brown is actually very natural for yellows. So what I did is I just did that same kind of skull color right there. I'm rinsing the brush again. It's still wet. I'm just going to scoop some of the residual white up off the palette and just do like a quick kind of white line right there. Because I'm going to paint that yellow and do some hazard stripes on it. So before I do yellow, I'm going to make it like it's bright, like a brighter version. Then I'll glaze the yellow on top. Now this other cable, I feel like we can just get away with something like black. Let's see what I got here. It's coal black right here. Cajun ass, how'd you guys get Yodog so fast? I forgot to reset them. So I said I'm going to let it ride today. And then I'm going to reset it after today. But if anybody just got their sub through for those 100 Yodogs today, you just hit me up during the month. I'll fix that for you. I actually forgot to reset them this before we started. And I was like, fuck it. I let mistakes ride. Can't let it reset. I can't let it ride the whole month, though. That would ruin me. So here's some coal black. Just try to creep in there best I can. Looking for as much heart pull action as possible. Just kind of raw dog this line right here. This is sketch. Pow! Most magic. That's the old cage. That's the old age creeping in. Yeah. But also don't worry too, because I'll refund the viewer amount tomorrow too, or the next stream. So everything will be fine. Nobody has to worry. Any concern you have will be met. It will be mitigated. Don't worry. Got my man Sunshine Grenadier in chat. So we got a nice little black cable there. Do some detail on that later. Now, I think it's pretty much just all rock besides that. So we've got straight silver now. We'll let that dry and we'll mess with the silver stuff. Got some bright silver here. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Now I'm going to grab the chisel tip. Yep. The chisel chip dry brush. And what we're going to do is just kind of crudely kind of just dry brush some of this. And this is very bright. See that? It's gonna give it a nice pitted out effect, especially when since I threw some of those browns in there. Cray, thank you for the sub, homie. Get some strong man loving chat right there. There we go. Just dry brushing his leg right there for a split second just to get some of that dirt I got on there off of there. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. I'm done with it. Now let's go back to... Let's get some weathering slurry together. Some black. Is there any brown in here still? Got some of this mahogany right here. I like to use a little red, some transparent red. Sometimes a little blue. I mean, I like it to be a little on the purple side sometimes, so I'll take a little, just a little blue. Let's get a little white too, so I have a, or you know, how about just an actual gray? Do I have like a stock gray over here? Some actual gray. Orc Pride, the man, the myth, the legend. What's up, brother? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to use this to kind of create like a kind of a nice, what I like to call juice effect. You know what? And also I like to get some straight orange out there. Some transparent orange in the cut right here. So let's get something. Let's make sure we have something on the darker side over here first. So a little black, brown, red, blue, a little gray. Sneak some orange in. Gonna water it down. Kind of like a shitty wash. I'm gonna use this. Like so. And we can water it down plenty. Just tuck it in, and it's okay if it's kind of shitty looking. Okay. I'm just dragging it into things that should be darker, in my opinion. Okay, maybe even take a little orange and water it down a little bit and kind of just using moisture and some sewing machine stroke. Just kind of jam it in there up against this fucked up part, you know? So I'm using kind of like a shitty wash technique here where I'm letting it be semi-opaque and a little wet. And it's going to dry kind of patchy and shitty on purpose. Because I imagine there's like grease and oil and all sorts of shit happening from this wreck here. It's going to help generate a little bit more contrast. Rinse it down. Pick up a little bit more orange. Right there. Shadows, Hot Angels. Thank you for the follow. So we're going to get a shitty version of this going here with some more orange and gray in it. Just going to lay it down kind of heavy. Kind of just modify it as I go. Some straight up orange on my brush. Kind of just beat it up a little bit. Introduce a little bit more moisture when needed. Spread it out. Just using the paints that I have. Some orange right here. Let's go grab some of the darker mess. Jam it right up in there. There we go. Just gotta fan it out. If I get out of frame, let me know, guys. It's kind of hard to get the base. A little bit more orange. Some of the harsher weathering techniques. So just generating a little bit more contrast and grittiness as we move around. Oh, 2 dorks, 1 brush. Catching us with that raid style. Yo, what up, guys? Let's get some hype in the chat for that raid. Just tuning in. We are working on finally finishing our Engine of Annihilation Creature Caster web exclusive here. We're getting the base curated finally. What's up? What are you guys all doing in here? How's it going? Did I enjoy LVO? I fucking had an absolute blast at LVO. So much fucking fun hanging out with my people, being a nerd, playing and rolling some dice. Saw some of the posts on Instagram, 2 dorks, 1 brush. Tight. I got to hang out with Mohawk Miniatures. Did you guys see that? He came all the way out. Jay. We hung out a little bit. Went out to dinner one night. Smoked some cigars. Celts 69 76. Spaztech. God damn it. Just dropped a bunch of shit. Still putting my Beats Lab back together. Spaztech, with GW taking over ITC, how long do you think it will be? Would GW take over the ITC? GW took over the ITC? That's news to me. I mean, I haven't been on the internet all day. How long before Unit's datasheets models are only available to Warmer Plus subscribers? How long before you're required to use the Warmer app to make lists? I'm going to tell you what, Spaztech. If that ever happened, I'd be ecstatic. But I doubt it. Because what you're preaching is us moving to a digital medium, which GW has been against for some fucking insane reason. But if you were telling me that I'm required to use the app, and I get my data slates, my codexes, everything digitally through the app, with some a la carte purchase, and I use a functioning battle scribe in that app, I could buy data sheets for like $1, $5, whatever, that would change my life. Life Cluda Crush Full. So they, I mean, is it an official announcement? Because I assumed they had already been partnered for like years.
Angels sang out, chorus, down from the heavens, descended Chuck Norris.
I guess they just signed a piece of paper and now Frontline Gaming gets money. Planet 13 Art, 36 months. Thank you so much, brother. All right, we're looking good here. Let's rinse this brush. Did I just put my finger in super glue? I think I did. All right, I'm gonna grab some of this metal again. This time I'm gonna be careful here. And I'm just going to stipple in, rather than edge highlight, some rough highlights. Deliberately keeping it kind of janky looking. See that? There we go. States that Warhammer Events team partnered with ITC. I think that just means GW's finally acknowledging that's the way that decentralized tournaments and unification is where it's at. If they actually went to a place where they supported digital downloads of their rules and a la carte purchases, this would be the best thing that ever fucking happened. See, just generating some nice crisp like frames and borders to things. But keeping it janky. Just jank, sewing machine stroke. Keeping it shitty on purpose. for that stipple border. Pop. Rinse that brush. And if you're new here, guys, use the old @Next Level Painting to highlight it, because I'm trained to just read highlights, and I assume everything else is cross speak. All right. Let's grab a little yellow, a little transparent yellow. Basically yellow ink. Let's take some of that yellow. Let's paint this. We pre-painted this kind of ivory white brown. And now the yellow that I paint it with will be, it's not fully opaque at all, but it's going to be informed by this much lighter value, which will help the yellow be its brightest yellow self. And paint real easy. And then I'm gonna carve back some little stripes, some hazard stripes. Little splash of color in the middle of the base. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Let's take some more, like just straight up orange. Just same thing. Just kind of just dot some in for some extra rust. Kit says, that looks terrifying. Love it. Thanks, man. Lucky Lee Twitch, you think there's any chance you might bring back some of the old Citadel Bits catalog? God damn it, dude. We've been saying that for years. I don't think there's any chance, because I think that they had so many opportunities to do that and have deliberately not. So as much as I think it's the way to go, and I think that if they were worried about 3D printing, you could be less worried about it if you let us buy the things we wanted from the old Bits catalog. But when they made their play for when they made their play to shut down box breakers and Bits slingers, I thought for sure it was because they were bringing the Bits catalog back, and they didn't. It's been years, so I don't think that's gonna happen, even though it should. Honestly, GW should just come up with a fucking 3D print app catalog. There we go. Cyanotic, thank you for the follow. I want to say Selt76. The paint work you guys do on stream that are producing is mind-boggling. My mindset is still 1980 GW. Thanks, man. Love Minis. She said, my bag was mind-blowing. Thank you. Did you get your swag bag in the mail? I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. Let's just adding some nice aggressive transparent orange to beat it up. We'll even maybe take some water, lower the opacity of this orange, maybe throw a touch of the yellow in there. Take this paper towel I got chilling right here. Just take some of the moisture off on the paper towel. And we can even kind of introduce some of this into that little yellow cable just to make it look a little prettier. Babance, B-Bance, B-Beezy, B-Bancy. Thanks for the follow. You'll be snowed in for 2 days, Love Minis? Goddamn. At least you got that box. Babance? Nailed it. Fucking goddamn genius. Now, let's take some... Let's let some of this settle, and let's take a little break from acrylics and go into some oils. Alright? I've got some multi-black from Mr. Hobby right here. Love this shit. Oil, it's an oil wash. Got a different set of brushes I use for this. I think. Maybe. Where's my oil brush? You know, sometimes I just lose track of shit. Oh, there it is. Oil brush. Got some odorless spirits to go with it. Any odorless spirits will do. I got the weathering solvent. It's just spirits. And so I'm going to use some black oil because this stuff is amazing over large surfaces. So I'm going to water it down substantially. And look what happens as soon as I kind of just touch it. It just spreads so far. It's not going to be this aggressive when it cures. Because I added a lot of spirits to it. Like I just took some out of the pot and then touched spirits and just let it flow. It's going to find all the little micro fissures and cracks. It helps settle in there to just generate a little bit more contrast. And it has a lot of work time, so I can still adjust it as it dries. See? Take a little oil, a little spirit. See how it finds all those little fissures? All those little details Creature Caster puts in there. Those little indents, cracks, crevasses. See all that? Couldn't see it before, right? So we made the bright stuff brighter with some edge highlighting. We made some of the dark stuff darker with some of that juicing technique. But now we're just really sharpening it by making sure everything that is recessed is a little darker. Just crank some light so you can really see in there. I mean, I'm washing out the lighting so you can see in there. A little bit on, some on this metal will do well too. I'm not going to go too hard on this metal. I'll just be kind of deliberately patchy. It works well in the bones, skulls. Now that's a pretty good thing. You just want to let that cure for a minute. Because, and you want to set it down to where the liquid is self-leveling. Sean Patrick, I too am aggressive when you add too much, a lot of spirits to me. Classic. Now you can take spirits and you can use this to kind of like wick away. Using the brush, you can just kind of gently kind of scrape away some excess from some of the flat areas, and you can kind of blend in because you're removing the filter. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll let it dry for a minute, then I'll come in and kind of just remove it from just the very edges where it's nice and bright from our dry brushing. But you actually have minutes and minutes to fuck with it. So what we'll do is we'll let it dry, curate a little bit. We'll do a whip session while it's doing that. We'll put his arms back on so we can take a look at how he's coming along. Still got to paint the rim of the base. Looks like shit. Creature caster, engines of annihilation, the corpse bringer, or corpse carrier. I think is this one. Felzar, thank you for the follow. Garlag, I'm Garlag. Garlic. What's up, brother? Man, this is a beast. What a beast of a model. Oh, you know what I should do? I just realized. There's like some skulls here that would look sick if I put a little wash on them. Right there. Some gold right here. Little oil wash right there. It's a good opportunity to kind of catch a couple things I missed. A couple of accents. The skull on top, not a scientist? No, I painted that. It's just washed out by the light. But maybe it looks like a little... Let's see. Gotta be careful. Yep, that looks good. Give a little detail. Good eye. Alright, so we'll let this guy curate. Let all the paint harden. Mainly on his base. Get the rim painted, do some weathering powder, some pigments and things like that. But you can see as it's drying, I can now like kind of flick away and reactivate some of the oil anywhere I want. Right? And you can kind of blend it in and out, but I kept it light enough that we're not going to really have to worry too much about that. Once we get the base rimmed and we get some fucking awesome pigments on there, I need to make sure this gold looks really good. It doesn't right now. It looks like shit right now. This guy's gonna look savage. Okay. Pull off the wet palette. Now I'm going to just quickly move in here. I think I got some coal black here. Got a small brush. And what I'm going to do is just kind of do my best to do some heart pulls. And I'm going to try to just get a nice little caution stripe going here. Using the tip of my brush. It's a curve. Pull these arms off. So it's a little tricky. Okay. So I'm going to try to use the tip of my brush and rotate down. Like that. And I'll clean it up as I go. The gentleman, you use 3 rhinos in your own death guard list? Hell yeah, brother. And I made the 3 rhinos. I have Plague Marines that go in the rhinos. I just never used them. Yeah, I haven't used them in any games yet. So I want to. See how it goes. All of this is heart pull strategy, guys, where you just want to always organize it so you can pull straight back. And you can always get a straighter line doing that. And we painted it yellow first because black's easier to paint right over yellow. As you can, it's so easy. Well, Plus Dave says, that's a good looking, definitely not Moriax. That's right, brother. Still looking for your sick dozer blades, gentlemen? 3D print, dog. And now I'm just kind of going back and doing a second pass. Making sure our lines are sharp. The black is opaque. I find that this little, just a little splash of color and extra bonus detail right here makes the base just a little bit more intriguing. Just a little bit more fun. A little power coupling. And what I like to do is maybe mix up a little gray. Maybe a little blue into the gray. Right? And what I want to do is just do like a little fake edge highlight inside those couplings. Tip of the brush, high opacity, low moisture, heart pull. Right there. Get a little bit more white. Rinse it down. Let's get a little orange. Be a little black into the orange. And what I'm going to do is just make like a little shade line. Kind of between the black and the yellow. Semi-opaque and a little wet. It's not going to do much to the black if it touches it. But it's going to give us a little bit of dimension. Now I'm going to rinse that. Let's go back, grab some ivory, some white, a little yellow mixed in. And we're going to oppose that. Nice little shine, just a little bit of intrigue. Like so. There we go. And so now if you come and look at my base, you'll notice that I did more than just some crude stripes on it. All right. Now, I want to paint the rim black at some point, but I feel like I got to get some pigment down first. But there's another cable here. So let's grab some of that gray blue we were making. Let's see if we can just do some highlighting here. That's a heart pull right there. Right there. We'll do a little tracer on this top bit right here. I'm going to just steal some of this metal. Mix it in a little bit. Let's look at a little coupling. Right here. I'll steal some orange while it's not even dry yet. Kind of blend some in like it's rusting. Rinse that down. So put a little detail into that cable. All right. Let's move the wet palette out of the way. Where's my dirt? I'm always losing my... There it is. My Shadows Edge Minis Dust, Premium Dust. Love this shit. So I'm going to do is just use some of this pigment powder right here. Move some shit out of the way. Okay, and I'm just going to dust some on. And I like this one because It's like lighter and dirt colored, right? So it has totally has the look of dirt being on top of the rocks. Love that. Sometimes I use like a darker colored pigment powder and get inside the recesses, and I may do that. But here, I want it to look, it's spilling over on top of things. A little bit of experiment. Introduce a little bit of realism to it. Not gonna overdo it, just a couple spots. Move back here. Here, where there's some grainier details, right over that. Tight. Let's grab some medium rust from AK. Recoil, to be honest, it's not just the dirt you misplace. Where's my could be your catchphrase. So a little bit of this medium rust. We'll use some of that on the metal. New layer, just kind of a new layer. Use that to right there. If you want, you can just lightly introduce some of this to him too, but only after you got most of it off, right? We got most of it off on his base, so there's barely anything on my brush anymore. You could just kind of brush some up under the undercarriage. But you want to be real careful. That's why I'm doing it here after I deposited most of it on the base already. Let's bring a nice little rusty filter in under things. Simple like that. I want to do some gold. I want to kind of make that gold a little nicer. Oh no, this broke. I knocked this against something. Little battle damage right there. Gotta be careful now that those flags are on. There we go. We'll put a little super glue right there. Grab a paper clip. Carefully gonna lift that brake. Put a tiny bit in there. We'll let that cure up. And then if you can still see the seam, then I'll paint it like a scratch. That's what I do. So, paint the arms off. Let's take some black primer with 29 minutes left in our Top D giveaway. First time we're giving a model away on the show in 2022. I think.
It's so damn hot. Milk was a bad choice.
Gons the Unjust. Milk is always a bad choice, brother. Got to start the month off with 666. My man just threw down 666 on the Top D giveaway for the Blight Bringer. Gons the Unjust. Thank you, homie. Gons, you know what I'm about to do, right? What are the rules? I'm taking black primer, raw dog, and I'm painting the rim of this Creature Caster model black. Can I get some strong man love in the chat for Gons the Unjust? I'm using light brush pressure and just dragging that black. You see how much sharper the image looks? Don't fuck around with trying to paint the rim of the base. Some narrative color. The narrative ends the second you get to this base. When you get to the rim, you've left the model, and now you're just putting a frame around the painting. And I'm using primer because it's going to be more burly than just coal black. I think he's popping off. Must be the way I'm letting it hit my hand. All right, I'm going to take him out of the splash zone with his awesome new black base. Let it dry for a minute. And then we're going to jump in on his hand. Shout out to Gons the Unjust, the legend. Thank you so much for your support, brother. Let's get some metallics down real quick with 25 minutes left in today's giveaway. Bright gold. Some bronze. Already some silver there. I feel like I was using rich gold at some point. Oh shit! Helldiver, gotta give you some lucky Death Guard love. Can I get some strong man love from my boy Helldiver? It's my main dude right there. His initials are CC, and I'm painting a CC model. What's up, brother? Get some strong man love from my boy right there. Crush a fool. What are your thoughts on using flow improver to keep metallics from drying out quickly? Use flow improver however the fuck you want at all times. That's my opinion on flow improver, bro. I use it all the time for everything you can think of. All right, so I want to make this gold look better. It's just like flat gold right now. So real quick, here's my rich gold. It was just one and done before. I'm going to just lay it down again. Okay. My man Helldiver knows I'm going to take some bronze, just kind of strip it down the center. Kind of while it's still wet. Rinse my brush. Let's take a little bit more rich gold and kind of just let it kind of capillary into that strip of bronze. Let's take some of this bright gold. Just let it skitter down that frame. Rotate. Using the tracer technique, let it just walk across that frame. This is a type of wet blending. Ganj and Helldiver know how to do this. Take a little of the bright silver. Force the action. Rotate. It's been wet and uncured this whole time. I'm going to use the heart pull right here. Go back in time. Just going back to some rich gold, doing a little stippling right here. Disperse it. Now we have a nice clean dimension right there in that flat, huge piece of gold. Doesn't look like shit anymore. Okay, I'll let that dry. Move here. Here's some bright gold right here. Pow! Just like that. You see now as it dries, we have just used these metallics, but all this is this is like brown, ochre, and yellow. And this is like ivory, right? We just blended them in to create a little definition, right? Recoil, you remember seeing Mike McVeigh from Heavy Metal Team in the 90s paint the rim on his personal mini bases black, an old white dwarf? Yeah, it makes it stand out more. It does. It sharpens the image. I'm going to take a little highlight because there are some scratches in here. And I'm going to show him some love. Bagel Pirate, what's up, man? Let's take a little black with our bronze. There we go. So you just under highlight the ledge, put the shadow inside the hole when you're doing these types of little scratches. Using my little brush, let's go back to the silver. Touch of the bright gold. Just trying to just really pop this seam out. Some tracer technique. There we go. That was bothering me because, you know, we hadn't finished it the whole time. Now it's much better. Oh, I see what's been happening here. So look how much better this guy looks with the rim black. He'll look better with his nut skirt. I know. Tam Wolf, I know. If you guys are just tuning in, there's actually 2 pieces missing from this model. I haven't put them on yet. But he's got this. And this fucking unnecessary bullshit right here. But that is all elements of this model painted. Everything. We did it all. Waldo's got to put on the nuts and butt gear. I will, but not on camera. It's going to require some drilling and some pinning because I'm going to sell this model. So I need to make sure it doesn't just snap off. Shipping's going to be crazy on this guy. What I'm going to do for what I do on models like this is I take pluck and pull foam and I lay him down and I build a box around him like Lincoln logs, and using hot glue, I basically create a cage around him. A cage that like you have to use scissors to cut off of him. So like he's just like encased in this cage that then is then for and bubble wrap in a small box in a larger box. Because you got to protect these joints. What is going on here? God, those things are bare. I mean, God, those are so delicate. Like, so crazy, so delicate. Where did I put the little guy? Tamwolf is like, we painted? Yeah. I just sat here drinking beer and throwing out wisecracks while you painted a masterpiece. You're ridiculous. The ass flap is so unnecessary. I need to call Creature Caster about unnecessary ass flappage. So I'm taking some black and some brown. Some ivory. Just touching up that seam. And there is a bit of a crack there. But all we're going to do is put black in it like that. Maybe just a fake one right there. Just pull it. Just draw attention to it. Don't pretend it's not there. Take a little ivory. Do an under highlight there and there. Wow. Bee buzzed? Is that like a special gift that just showed up? What the fuck was that? Bee buzz, what's up, man? It's like, there we go. That's the hottest gift in the game right there. Shout out to my man B Buzz. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Yeah, recoil. Definitely agree with you on the unnecessary robot flap. There we go. I straight up forgot that we even had those flaps. Like, is it just me or is it like clearly not needed? God's the unjust. Multiples of the beast only tonight. God's the unjust taking us to Suplex City. Yeah. Highly optional, right, Reapray? The flaps, not necessary. I mean, I might just tag them bitches on, take a picture, and just mail them with whoever buys it and be like, you can put them on if you want. They're optional. Or at least the butt flap is optional. But yeah, there he is, man. Fucking sick. I mean, this guy is a beast. We did it. We did it in 6 streams. 7. This is the 7th.